So, in addition to real-time electricity pricing, another type of dynamic demand management that could help change human behavior in order to accommodate the natural availability of variable renewable energy is called demand response. So, this is a little bit different. This is where there's a change in a customer's electricity consumption due to some sort of explicit request from a grid operators. And usually, the customers who change their behavior at the grid operator's request are financially rewarded for compliance. For example, customers might be paid to give up some control of their air conditioner during the summer. So Duke Energy has a program where they'll pay you a certain amount of money, and they put a device on your air conditioner that allows them to temporarily turn off your air conditioner during really hot periods of the summer, which helps them manage the electricity demand on the grid. Another example might be slowing down or stopping production at an industrial operation, or dimming or shutting off the lights. So this actually has benefits not only from an operational standpoint, but also from a long-term planning standpoint. Remember our discussion of how utilities think about projecting demand out into the future and trying to match that up with the amount of capacity they have. So what's interesting is that in recent years, demand response, so agreements among customers to temporarily curtail their own electricity production, have been being used by system operators and long-term planners as resources, right? So you can imagine that if one person agrees to, at a moment's notice, reduce their electricity consumption, it doesn't make much of a difference. But if 10,000 people agree to reduce their electricity consumption at a moment's notice, that's almost the same thing as having a power plant where you can schedule electricity production. If we can reduce demand by 1,000 MWh sort of instantaneously, that's almost as good as being able to produce 1,000 MWh. So how do customers sign up to participate in demand response programs? So Duke Energy has a couple of these. They have some for industrial customers, they have them for residential customers, and they give incentives to customers. So you lower your electricity bill by by signing up for these programs that allows Duke Energy to curtail some of your electricity consumption strategically. Now, Duke is an interesting case because they're a regulated, vertically integrated monopoly. So they'd like to reduce demand, but not too much. In deregulated markets, there are other business models that help sign customers up, and these are called curtailment service providers. So these are companies that focus on a customer's demand response capabilities. This could be a utility, an energy service company, or some other company that offers these services. And these are referred to as demand aggregators. And the way this works is that these folks essentially go door to door and they sign up customers to participate in demand response programs. So somebody might come to your door and say, we would like to pay you $50 a year or $100 a year. And in return, we're going to maybe 2 to 3 times a year turn off your air conditioner a couple times during the summer. And if you're interested, you become one part of their portfolio of customers who are willing to do this. And so then what happens is that the curtailment service provider takes all of those customers who are willing to provide this service, and it groups them together and sort of bids them into a wholesale market so it can provide this service to a wholesale market. And then when the wholesale market needs a reduction in electricity consumption, it sends that signal to the curtailment service provider, who then sends that signal to the retail customers to automatically curb their consumption. And the financial proposition for the curtailment service provider is that they get some sort of payment from the wholesale market. It might be a capacity payment or an energy payment. And 85% of that goes to the retail customers. That's the whole incentive for the customers to sign up for this. But the curtailment service provider might get to keep 15%. So if that 15% covers its cost of doing business, then it's a nice way to make money while also providing a valuable service to the grid. Okay, that's it for this one. Next time we're going to talk about renewable energy and carbon policy, and homework 7 is assigned.